ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकीम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। सदासेव्य श्रीमद्भागवती कथा यस्य श्रवणमात्रेण हरिश्चित्तं समाश्रयेत्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं कर्वावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Last week we saw Vyasadeva has divided the Vedas into four. He's written many scriptures like the Mahabharata, he's written the Purans, so that everyone could benefit from understanding spiritual knowledge, right? Even those who could not study the Vedas directly. He distributed this knowledge through his disciples, right, and many other sages, so that this knowledge could spread to the entire world. And why did he do all of this? Because he knew that the Vedas are difficult for people to understand. So out of compassion for people like us, he did as much as he could to spread the knowledge to the entire world. But even after doing all of this, Vyasadeva felt deep dissatisfaction inside, right? He felt ki yaar, I have studied everything. I have taught everything. I have done everything as sincerely as I possibly could, and still something is missing. Right? With that, let's see what is happening. We are Canto 1, Chapter 4, verse 30. Okay, please open to verse 30. Tathapi bata me daihyo yatma chaivatmana vibhuhu
Atma chaivatma vibhu
asampanna iva bhati
asampanna iva bhati
brahmavarchasya sattamaha.
brahmavarchasya sattamaha.
I am feeling incomplete, though I myself am fully equipped with everything required by the Vedas.
Okay, so what Vyasdev is thinking is, in spite of everything that I have done, right? My body, my mind, everything is completely engrossed in spirituality, right? I am Atmana Vibhuhu. I am a self-realized, very powerful person. I've done so much austerity. I've got so much of knowledge. And yet, asampanna. Look at that word, asampanna. I feel incomplete. I feel dissatisfied, right? I feel like whatever I have done is just not enough, right? I am a Brahma Varchasya. I am full of Vedic knowledge, full of spiritual potency. I have deeply studied the Vedas. I'm the best among the Brahmins, but in spite of that, I'm feeling completely inferior, completely inadequate, right? So this is his introspection that is going on, right? I'm spiritually complete, I'm spiritually full of knowledge, and yet I'm missing something. Remember, he couldn't have divided the Vedas into Riga, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva Ved if he didn't understand the Vedas properly, right? Not just did he understand and divide, he picked one deserving student and he had to explain it to them, which means he had to be thorough if he had to explain it. And those students are so good that they have gone and through their students and grand students, they've spread everything. Then for women and what's Sri Shudra Dvijabandhu, Vyasdev has written the Mahabharata, he's written the Puranas, and yet there is immense dissatisfaction, right? So what it means is a person can be highly learned, spiritually very powerful, he may be self-realized, but still that feeling of emptiness inside can exist. And Vyasdev was thinking, why? Right? He's self-evaluating. मुझसे क्या छूट गया है? He is thinking and thinking and thinking, and then a thought comes to his mind. Right? Look at the thought. That is why introspection very, very important, because we can solutionize ourselves. Right? We can figure out कि भाई क्या मुझसे छूट रहा है. Look at verse number 31. किं वा भागवता धर्मा
Bhagavata dharma
न प्रायेण निरूपिताः
न प्रायेण निरूपिताः
प्रियाः परमहंसानां
प्रिया परमहंसानां
त एव ह्यच्युतः प्रियाः
त एव
ह्यच्युतः प्रियः.
This may be because I did not specifically point out the devotional service of the Lord, which is dear both to perfect beings and to the infallible Lord.
Okay, so as Vyasdev was sitting down in introspection, as he's contemplating, suddenly he thinks, Kimva, is it possible ki Bhagavad Dharma, the principles of devotional service to the Lord, na prayena nirupitaha, I have not described them in enough detail, right? So now he's identifying the real problem. Maybe I did not sufficiently explain Bhagavad Dharma, pure bhakti, pure devotional service, service which is centered on keeping Krishna at the center. And this service is Priya Paramahamsanam. Pure bhakti is very, very dear, very priya to the Paramahamsanam, right? To the pure devotees, the topmost self-realized souls. To them, Bhagavad Dharma is most important. Achyuta Priyaha. And even Achyuta, the Lord himself, Krishna himself, loves bhakti. Pure bhakti is very, very dear to Achyuta. So Vyasadeva was thinking ki bhai, in all my literatures, I have written so much about religion, right? I have catered to all classes of society. Ye sab karte karte, maybe I have missed something very important. Maybe I have not written enough about real dharma, about parodharma, bhakti to adhokshaje, right? Maybe I'm feeling down and low because I have not properly, abundantly, in detail described Bhagavad Dharma. Maybe I have not pleased Achyuta and the Paramahamsas, right? Because what they would actually love is for me to propagate bhakti, not knowledge, pure bhakti, right? So Vyasadeva is now realizing that maybe I have spoken a lot about Karmakand, right? About different rituals. Maybe I've spoken a lot about Jnana. Maybe I've spoken about Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. But while doing all of this, maybe I did not sufficiently emphasize bhakti, kevala bhakti. And maybe that is why my heart is not satisfied. Right? So remember, we're all Atma, right? We're all souls. And this Atma of ours is most definitely Sat Chit Ananda. It is Sat Chit Ananda as long as it is connected to Krishna. It is always Sat Chit Ananda. But it experiences Sat Chit Ananda when it is connected to Krishna, when it is connected to the Supersoul. But if that connection is cut off, then I start feeling asat. That's why I'm afraid of death, right? Because I don't realize that I'm immortal. I start experiencing nirananda, no anand, because I'm not connected to that ocean of joy. I start feeling achit, because my chit is not now engrossed in that supreme soul. So instead of feeling Sat Chit Ananda, instead of feeling deep fulfillment, I start feeling empty. I start feeling dissatisfied. I suffer. Right? I'm quite certain all of us have this experience in our lives. That there are so many times when we feel कि यार मैंने बहुत मेहनत की है. And I've done a whole lot of stuff for my kids, for my husband, for my family, for friends, for society, for everybody. मैंने रात दिन एक कर लिया है, right? I've also materially accomplished a lot. But if I have not kept God at the center, then most definitely this feeling that Vyasadeva is having, this feeling of being incomplete, we've all experienced it. Because only a spiritual connect can give us a sense of deep satisfaction. नहीं तो बस ऐसे इधर ही गोते खाते रह जाएंगे. We have to keep that in mind. Every time we feel कि यार मैं इतना करती हूँ लेकिन क्यों कोई खुश नहीं है? Sit back and think. It's not about other people's khushi. That khushi is not being reflected in us because somewhere while doing all our material duties, we've cut off our connection to the super soul. Right? This is exactly what Vyasadeva is realizing. Okay, I'll tell you a very interesting.
बीच में बोल सकती हूँ थोड़ा, sorry.
Of course, please.
जी माता जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम. ये आप जो कह रहे हो क्या इनके व्यासदेव जी के मन में ये आया, वो तो भगवान जी के सतोक्ष अवतार थे, फिर भी उनके मन में ये बात आई.
हाँ, because every avatar comes to perform a particular leela, right? Vyasadeva came to give us all literatures. He came out of complete compassion. यही होता है, आदमी कितना भी शुद्ध सत्व से सतोगुण में आ गया, right? He's right. You see, they're all trying to tell us what human flaws can be like. No doubt he's Bhagwan ka Shaktavesh avatar, right? He's got the entire Shakti, the literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord. But when he kept making things simpler and simpler and simpler for everybody, he realized कि अच्छा इंसान को क्या चाहिए. माँ है तो मतलब औरत है तो उसको बच्चा चाहिए, है ना. मैन है उसको करियर चाहिए, और फैमिली साथ में मतलब मैन एंड वुमन साथ में आ गए तो उनको प्रोस्पेरिटी चाहिए. फिर भगवान को याद करेंगे, फिर भगवान को याद करेंगे. तो ये सोचते सोचते ही केप्ट फोकसिंग ऑन धर्म अर्थ काम. Right? He's definitely spoken about moksha. He's spoken about bhakti, but not exclusively about bhakti. He's spoken about it, and जब इंसान जब पिकअप करने लगा तब he picked up only the कर्म कांड, he picked up only the ज्ञान कांड. इंसान भी सोचता है कि चल भी आने देना, आज है ना मेरी BMW आने दे, वो आएगी ना फिर मैं शांति से करूंगा भक्ति. BMW आ गई तो हे भगवान उसका सर्विसिंग का भी तो खर्चा रोज सर पे लगेगा, तो मुझे और मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. राइट? सो समवेयर वी गॉट स्टक इन दिस, एंड दैट इज व्हाट व्यासदेव इज रियलाइजिंग. जब तक थोड़ा भी कनेक्शन मटेरियल लाइफ में रहता है तब तक we somehow, Maya has this amazing way of pulling us back in, because Maya is constantly testing us. So Vyasdev realizes कि मैंने लिखा है लेकिन not exclusively about bhakti. I've given people options and people are picking only the wrong options. So many times we want to tempt our children to eat घर का खाना. है ना, ये Swiggy, Zomato, friends, hoteling. We want to pull our children back to घर का खाना. Right? But if we tell them बच्चे सब्जी रोटी दाल चावल सैलेड खा ले, we also realize कि it is the worst level of attraction. तो हम लोग भी है ना क्या सोचते हैं, चल ना I'll make pasta for you, I'll make pizza for you, right? And we try to make it healthy, but in our mind we are thinking, let me make it as interesting as possible. तो we put more cream, we use maida. तो हम लोग भी क्या कर रहे हैं, to attract our children we're still making something a little unhealthy for them, right? And children will pick that instead of your sabji roti. See, a very interesting question actually, Loveleen, is because the Bhagavad very clearly tells us why austerity. See, material world tells us कि अरे तुम enjoy करते रहो करते रहो करते रहो, कभी तो है ना enjoyment से थक जाओगे और फिर तुम भक्ति की ओर आ जाओगे. Bhagavad tells us no, that is very very far from the truth. Bhagavad tells us कि material enjoyment is like an itch. आपको लगता है चलो थोड़ा सा खुजा लेती हूँ हो जाएगा ठीक, थोड़ा सा खुजा लेती हूँ हो जाएगा ठीक, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली द मोर यू स्क्रैच द मोर यू नीड टू स्क्रैच.
वो इच्छा होती रहती है,
वो इच्छा होती रहती है. दैट इज वाई सो व्यासदेव इज शोइंग अस थ्रू हिज ओन एक्सपीरियंस कि भाई मैंने भी देखो ये सब करते करते कहीं तो भक्ति एक्सक्लूसिवली के बारे में नहीं बात की. Right? So he's just telling us कि don't get stuck in all of this thinking कि मैं आ जाऊंगी एक दिन. नहीं, तुमको exclusively भक्ति पे focus करना है. Right? I hope that answers you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Not at all. I'll tell you all a little story. Okay, very interesting story about a very rich Brahman. Brahman कुल में पैदा हुआ. Okay, I'll tell you about Bilva Mangal. This Bilva Mangal, very well learned in Shastra, came from a very affluent family, right? So he was a Brahman, well educated, very well learned, very knowledgeable, but lusty. सब में अनर्थ होते हैं, right? It is what you have to hold on to and what you have to really, really let go of. This Brahman, Bilva Mangal, lusty, mad after this beautiful prostitute called Chintamani. Right? It is said that he was so lusty कि एक दिन है ना उसके डैड का श्राद्ध सेरेमनी चल रहा था. And Bilva Mangal is telling the priest कि भाई जल्दी कर मुझे जाना है. कहाँ जाना है? चिंतामणि से मिलने जाना है. Right? So now the ceremony, it takes some time, and by the time the Shraddh ceremony gets over, Bilva Mangal looks outside and he sees it's raining heavily, it's pouring cats and dogs, right? It is torrential. So thunder, the river is flooded. But Bilva Mangal is so desperate to meet Chintamani. Chintamani lives on the other side of the river. This guy doesn't care, right? He goes to the river. There is no boat available. So he thinks, problem kya hai? I'm young. I'll just swim across the river, right? So he jumps into the river and he crosses the river holding on to something that he thinks is a log of wood. But in reality, it is a dead body, right? He holds on to a dead body. Uska sahara leke he crosses the river, right? But by this time, because it's raining so torrentially, on the other side, Chintamani is thinking, कि यार इतनी बारिश हो रही है, there's no way कि Bilva Mangal is going to come today. Because it's simply not possible. She was a very sensible lady, right? So she saw कि भाई the weather is so bad. So what does she do? She closes the gate of the house and goes up to her room and goes to bed. है ना? थोड़ी देर बाद Bilva Mangal reaches there. So he's braved the entire storm, held on to a dead body, and he's reached her house. He reaches the house and he sees that the gate is closed. He is not one to give up. So what does he do? He climbs up to her house using something like a rope. Right? ऊपर चढ़ने के बाद उसको समझ में आता है कि यार ये तो रोप है ही नहीं, ये तो स्नेक था. Right? But his lust is so powerful, he uses a snake and climbs up. He's so blinded, he's so driven, right? Finally, in that desperation, he goes, wakes up Chintamani, right? He enters a room and he says, look at who has come, Chintamani, wake up, right? And he tells her, look how I crossed the, river and how I braved the entire rain. I used a snake to climb up and here I've come just to meet you. I'm so excited to meet you. Chintamani wakes up from her sleep and she's so shocked. At that point, very gravely, very sincerely, she says, my dear Bilva Mangal, if only you had loved Krishna as much as you love me, if only you had this intensity for Krishna, then aaj tum kahan ke kahan pahunch jate, right? You would have attained supreme bliss. Now remember, Bilva Mangal is originally a Brahman, right? Bahut dimag hai. That one line from Chintamani was enough. That sentence, hai na, usko aise, it pierces his heart. The words really strike him. Suddenly he thinks, कि यार मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? What have I done with my life? Right? So much education, so much opportunity, so much potential I had, and what have I done? I've wasted my life. I've missed the whole purpose of my life. So immediately gets up and he leaves. Right? Then of course the story continues. He decides कि बस what she has said is absolutely correct. So I'm going to become a sadhu. Right? तो सब कुछ छोड़ते हैं, साधु का वेश ग्रहण करते हैं, and he starts his journey to Vrindavan. Right? He starts walking in the direction of Vrindavan. लेकिन वासना जो है ना, ये हमको जल्दी छोड़ती नहीं है. Right? He's walking towards Vrindavan. He's leading a very austere life. But while he's walking, he sees a beautiful girl. And he starts following her. Habit? Right? लेकिन थोड़ी देर में उसको वापस समझ में आता है कि oh my God, what nonsense am I doing? Right? So he corrects his path. Again, continues his journey towards Vrindavan. थोड़े आगे जाते हैं, he sees another woman. ऐसे 2-3 बार होता है. And once he follows this lady and he reaches her house. At the house, the lady's husband is standing. Okay, he's standing at the gate to welcome his wife back. This lady quickly goes to her husband and she tells him, look at this guy, yaar. He's been following me. Ask him what his problem is. So husband goes up to the man and says, excuse me, what is your problem? And shamelessly, Bilva Mangal tells him, I just want to embrace your wife. Right? Now, very interesting. The man looks carefully at Bilva Mangal. He looks like a sadhu. So the man looks at his wife and he tells her, look, this man, he's a saint. इनमें ना छोटी सी वासना है ना रह गई है. शायद you will be able to help him. So go inside, decorate yourself nicely and serve this sadhu. Let him embrace you. So this woman, instead of fighting with her husband, she accepts what her husband has said as her duty. And she goes inside, she gets ready, and she comes out. Bilva Mangal is shocked. He thinks, oh my God, I am in a sadhu vase, and these guys are ordinary grahasthas. But look at it, as grahasthas, look at their seva vritti. And as a sadhu, look at my bhoga vritti. Shame on me. Right? So he looks at the lady, folds his hand, says, Mother, please forgive me. But before I go, do you have a hairpin in your head? She says, yeah. He says, please, de do. He takes that hairpin and he pierces his eyes. He says, these eyes are my enemy. Right? Because these eyes are attracting him to beauty and pulling him away from the path. तो ऐसे blind हालत में रोते रोते now he gets back on his journey. Krishna को पुकारते पुकारते he reaches Vrindavan. Right? And there he's crying and he's singing for the Lord. He's desperately experiencing bhakti now. And at that point, a little boy comes, and that little boy arranges for everything that he needs because he is blind, right? That little boy arranges food for him, arranges water for him, milk for him, and बड़े प्यार से बिल्व मंगल डूब जाते हैं अपनी कृष्ण के भक्ति में, कृष्ण के प्यार में, right? So all of us have sung this song, right? Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव जिह्वे पबस्वामृतमेतदेव गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. Right? So this Govinda Damodar Madhaveti, this, I think it is 70 plus verses. This has been composed by Bilva Mangal Thakur. He went on to write, I think Krishna, there's a scripture that he's written on Krishna, which is so beautiful. This Govinda Damodar Madhaveti, again, if time permits, you must actually listen to these verses. They're so beautiful. This very common one, no? Shri Krishna Govinda Hari Murare, this I just said. There are other ones. Kararavinde Padaravinde, have you heard this? That beautiful description of अपने हाथ में अपना पाँव पकड़ के उसको अपने मुख में डाल के, the one who's lying on a banyan tree ka leaf. I worship that Lord. Have you heard that? Kararvinde padarvindam mukharvinde viniveshayantam vatasya patrasya puteshayanam balam mukundam manasa smarami. Right? In my mind, I'm thinking of that baby Krishna, who's on that banyan leaf, and who's Chota Krishna, with his hand, he's held his foot and he's sucking his toe. Right? What is it that people love? Why do they keep surrendering to my toe? Why is it that people always bow down to my toe, worship me like that? I want to see what nectar is coming from my toe. So Krishna is sucking his own toe. Right? That is written by Bilva Mangal Thakur. There is, Satyavati Mataji had made us learn this one verse. And all of us, please repeat this verse after me. Sukhavasane tvidameva saram. Sukhavasane tvidameva saram. Dukkhavasane tvidameva geyam.
I can't hear you.
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, sorry. Everybody please mute. But even after you mute, please repeat this. Beautiful lines. Sukhavasane tvidameva saram. Dukkhavasane tvidameva geyam. Deva dehavasane tvidameva japyam. Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. You know what these lines mean? You should write this down. Sukhavasane. जब सुख का अंत आता है, right? When sukh comes to an end, sukhavasane tvidameva saram. Understand that the sar, the essence of all sukh is Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Right? Sukhavasane idameva saram. Dukkhavasane tvidameva geyam. When dukh comes to an end, at that time gao, geyam, sing. What should you sing? Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Dehavasane, when our deha is coming to an end. Idameva japyam. Kiska jap karo? Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. And we will be able to do this if we are constantly doing Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Right? So in that same 70 verses, there's one beautiful verse which says that these gopis in Vrindavan, right? These gopis in Vrindavan, they had to go to sell their milk and their dahi and their butter, right? They would have to go and sell it. So when they would go out to sell their milk and sell their butter, their consciousness was always engrossed in Murari. है ना? Their mind was always engrossed in Krishna. So when they went out to sell their products, they wanted to actually say कि भाई दही ले लो, दूध ले लो, butter ले लो. But because their mind was so absorbed in Krishna, they would say Govinda le lo, Damodar le lo, Madhav le lo. Right? It is so beautiful. So what Bilva Mangal, and remember this Bilva Mangal went on to become Bilva Mangal Thakur. Bilva Mangal Thakur wrote such beautiful poetry, such beautiful bhajans, telling us that ultimately everything resolves in Krishna's names. Nothing else can satisfy us. Everything else is a deviation in our life. Right? But this story to me also tells us that Krishna is so kind. Krishna was thinking कि यार this Bilva Mangal, right? He's had so much of past piety. That's why he's born a Brahman. He's so learned, right? So very intelligent. एक ही तो problem है ना उसमें, lust. So Krishna, so kind, he spoke through Chintamani itself. Right? The one anartha that was so prominent in Bilva Mangal, Krishna decided to use that anartha to again drag him back. Right? So who became Bilva Mangal's guru there? Chintamani. Right? And then Bilva Mangal immediately repented. Right? He really, really wanted to go to Vrindavan and be with Krishna. But old vasanas were not leaving him. So again Krishna came in the form of that Grahastha couple. Right? That Grahastha couple were nobody else but Krishna. Then when he became blind and he was desperate, again Krishna came in the form of a little boy. So all these stories essentially tell us that we keep bhatkoing. But if we have that deep desire somewhere, if we've done something for Krishna, Neha Bikrama Nashosti Prattivayo na vidyate Swalpamapyasya dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhayat. Right? Krishna so many times in the Gita promises us, Na me bhakta pranashyati. Right? All of this we see as examples in all these great people. If your heart simply says, Ki yaar, I want to go back to Krishna, ek baar bol do, he will take 1,000 steps towards you. And not our steps. He's the God Vishwaroop, na? Remember the steps that he took as Bali Maharaj? है ना? बटू की तरह उन्होंने कैसे steps लिए? Like that he will take steps for us to pull us back. I have no idea why I went on to go tell you this whole story, but we will come back. Okay? But I I just think that these are such beautiful instances for us to feel ki, okay, maybe till now I was stuck in Karma Kand, maybe I was stuck in Jnana Kand, but that Krishna, he will come. Why is that prostitute named Chintamani? चिंतन कहीं तो इन्होंने किया था बिल्व मंगल ने कि लाइफ का अल्टीमेट गोल क्या है. चिंतामणि, तुम जो चिंतन करोगे that money will grant it to you. That prostitute's name could have been anything, but acharyas write it so beautifully. They call her Chintamani because कहीं तो जो चिंतन किया था वो पूरा करने she came. Right? So Chintamani. So apna Vyasdev, he's been thinking about why am I feeling so much dissatisfaction, and what his heart is telling him after a whole lot of contemplation is ki yes, you have done a lot of good for everybody. Yes, you have created monumental scriptures. But my dear Vyasdev, you have not loudly, clearly, definitely spoken about bhakti. Right? And while Vyasdev is thinking about this, who arrives? When the student is ready, the Guru arrives. Right? And so, sab log Dandvat Pranam karo, Narad Muni has entered the scene. Right? So we are welcoming. Yes.
Varsha,
Yeah.
I remembered about this Ajamil, same type story. Na?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I was listening to Gaurang Darshan Das. So beautifully he says ki that Krishna, no, he searches for a reason to take you back home. Like I said, no, as the parent of your child, right? If your child falls into even the slightest bad company, you will do whatever it takes, right? You will do whatever it takes to pull your child back to you. And we are the material mother, father. Imagine he's our forever spiritual father. That Putana just dressed up like his mother, dressed up like a beautiful woman who could nurse him, right? She went with the intention of feeding him poison. She went with the intention of killing him. Not only him, she went with the intention of killing all the, little babies. And yet, what did Krishna see? No. She's at least taken the form of a nurse. So for that, let me give her moksha. Right? Like you said, Ajamil. You think Krishna didn't know कि नारायण मतलब वो अपने बच्चे को बुला रहा है? No, वो तो मुझे ही याद कर रहा है. Right? वो मुझे याद कर रहा है तो मैं जाऊंगा, मैं उसको वापस ले आऊंगा. Gajendra Moksha is actually the most fun because when Gajendra actually starts praying, Gajendra doesn't even know who he is praying to. Gajendra is just praying कि oh, there is somebody who's very powerful. There's somebody who can, pull me out of this problem that I'm with with this crocodile. Right? There's somebody who can make my situation better. And Krishna's Golok is thinking, that's me. That's me. I'm very powerful. I can free him from this situation. And so, without him specifically saying, ki Hari, aap aa jao, Krishna says, no, that description, it fits me. And so he comes. Right? So, what we have to understand is look at the compassion that Krishna has for us. Right? व्यासदेव ने बड़े दिल से सोचा कि नहीं, क्या lacking है. I want to do whatever I am capable of doing. I don't want to give a half-finished job. Right? I know I have potential. I want to use my potential completely for the benefit of people. And because he thinks like this, the Guru appears. Right? So, yes, all right. Verse number 32. Tasyaivam khilamatmanam मन्यमानस्य खिद्यतः कृष्णस्य नारदोऽभ्यागात् आश्रमं प्रागुदाहृतम्.
As mentioned before, Narad reached the cottage of Krishna Dwapayana Vyasa on the banks of the Saraswati, just as Vyasadeva was regretting his defects.
Okay, so Vyasadeva is thinking himself to be killer. Killer means inferior. Oh, I'm such an inferior Atma. I have not been able to fulfill whatever my purpose is. When he's thinking like this in his mind, when he's feeling deep regret, at that time, by the arrangement of Krishna. Remember here, Krishna could mean Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas. इनके कॉटेज पे नारद मुनि पधारते हैं. It can also mean by the arrangement of Krishna, नारद मुनि पधारते हैं व्यासदेव के आश्रम में. Right? So when the soul is feeling empty, Krishna himself arranges guidance. If we are anywhere feeling ki yaar, something is missing, have faith that Krishna will arrange guidance. Okay, but call out to him. Call out to him however you can. Verse number 33. Tam abhijnaya sahasa
अभिज्ञाय सहसा
pratyutha yagatam munihi
प्रत्युत्थायागतं मुनिः
pujayam asa vidhivan
पूजयाम् असविधिवन्
naradam surapujitam.
नारदं सुरपूजितम्.
At the auspicious arrival of Sri Narad, Sri Vyasadeva got up respectfully and worshipped him, giving him veneration equal to that given to Brahmaji, the creator.
So Sahasa, immediately Vyasadeva recognized Narad Muni, right? And he's thinking, oh my God, aho bhagya. है ना, मेरे भाग्य देखो, Narad Muni has come to my ashram. Look at my good fortune. So he quickly gets up and he welcomes the sage. Ekdam vidhi se, following all rules and regulations, according to etiquette. Pujayam asa vidhivan. Okay? He did puja. He worshipped Narad Muni just like one would worship the Devatas. Naradam Sura Pujitam. जैसे सुरों को, जैसे देवताओं की पूजा करते हैं, like that, Vyasadeva worshipped Narad Muni. So as soon as Vyasadeva saw Narad Muni arrive, he immediately stood up, respectfully worshipped Narad, right? He welcomes him, he makes him sit down, offers him water, arranges whatever food and drink he can, Dandvat Pranam karte hain. So everything according to proper etiquette, Vyasadeva does, and he welcomes Narad Muni. That gets us to the end of the 4th chapter. We still have 15 minutes. Should we continue? Yes? Okay. So if you look at the 4th chapter, sorry, Karan, you want to say something?
Not a question, that's what I need to say. Should continue.
Continue? Okay, thank you, darling. Thank you. So, if you look at the 4th chapter, pehle where we started, Vyasadeva was feeling empty. Then he thinks, maybe I missed Krishna, maybe I missed Bhakti. So, Krishna immediately sends guidance. And the important thing to remember is that when that guidance comes, Vyasadeva is ready to receive that guidance. Vyasadeva is humble. Vyasadeva is receptive. Very important in our lives. Spiritual help keeps coming. God keeps sending somebody. What do? We shut the door. Time nahi hai. Interest nahi hai. Right? Spiritual help comes. We must be ready to receive it properly. Vyasadeva realizes a guru has appeared and Vyasadeva is ready. So remember, guidance is on one hand. Humility is on the other hand. It's only when this happens that a solution will be provided. You have to keep in mind, when Bhagavad Gita started, Arjun Vishada Yog, that is the first chapter. Arjun bade Vishad mein tha. Krishna does not say anything. Krishna is sitting there as his charioteer. Right? Krishna is smiling. When Arjun said, Karpanya dosho upahat svabhavaha prichami tvam dharma samudha chetaha. Right? When he says कि Krishna, I'm asking you, tell me what is dharma. मेरा जो चित्त है वो मूढ़ हो गया है. Right? At that, so he says, शिष्यस्तेहम शाधिमाम त्वाम प्रपन्नम. मैं अब से आपका शिष्य हूं, मैं आपको दंडवत प्रणाम डाल रहा हूं. When Arjun spoke of his problem to his guru and bowed down in front of the guru, Bhagavad Gita appeared. Right? So now Vyasdev has spoken of his dilemma to his guru Narad Muni. Let's see what is going to appear. Right? So, chapter 5. Let's start with the first verse. Suta Uvacha Atha tam sukhamasina
यतं सुखम् आसीन
Upasinam bruhachravaha
उपासीनं
बृहत्श्रवाः
Devarshi praha viprarshim. Sorry.
देवर्षि प्राह विप्रर्षि
Veena pani smayan iva
स्वयं त्रिवा.
Suta Goswami said, thus the sage amongst the gods, Narad, comfortably seated and apparently smiling, addressed the Rishi amongst the Brahmins, Vedavyasa.
Okay. So, Vipra Rushim. Among all the Vipra, he is a Mahan Rishi, Vyasdev. Right? And Narad Muni is smiling. Okay. Same thing I just said, right? Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is smiling when Arjun is crying. Krishna is smiling कि क्या यार इतनी बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हो, इतने स्ट्रॉन्ग, इतने शूरवीर योद्धा हो, है ना? लेकिन कैसे छोटे छोटे ट्रबल्स में फंस गए हो तुम? Why? Because you've forgotten what is most important. Like that, Narad Muni is also smiling कि यार this guy तो is the great Veda Vyas. He has compiled so many literatures. He is so knowledgeable. Right? We say everything is Vyasa Uchchishta. Everything stems from Vyasadev. And yet, look at him today. है ना? So, look at what Narad Muni is called over here. Veena Panihi. One who carries the veena in his hand. So, like this, what is Krishna called? Pani means your hand. So Narad Muni is holding a veena in his hand. He is called Veena Pani. See that
Ratang Pani, right?
Rathang Pani, very good. He held the Rath ka payya in his hand. Very good. What else? What is Vishnu called? Correct. Krishna is called Rathang Pani. Vishnu is called?
Chakradhar.
I think Kanchan is saying it. What is it, Subbalakshmi?
Chakradhar.
Chakradhar? Sharangapani. Sharangapani is what Krishna is called. Vishnu called. Krishna is Rathangapani. Vishnu is Sharangapani. What is Ramji called? Ramji ke haath mein kya hai? What is Ramji holding?
Dhanush.
Dhanush. What is the name of his Dhanush?
Gandhi.
Oh, come on, Subbalakshmi. You know the name.
Karans. That's
You just went to Ayodhya, Subbalakshmi. What is the name of his bow? Kodanda. Kodandapani. So, Kodanda is the name of Ramji's bow. And so, he is called Kodandapani. Right? Very interesting. Our deities are named so beautifully. Everything is supposed to remind us of them. Right? So, Narad is called Veena Panihi. So, Veena Pani, this Narad Muni is now talking to Vyasdev. Verse number 2. Narada Uvacha Parasharya Mahabhaga Bhavata Kachidatmana
भवत कश्चिदात्मना
Paritushyati Sharira
परितुष्यति शारीर
Atma Manasa Eva Vam.
आत्मा मानस एव वा.
Addressing Vyasdeva, the son of Parashara Narad inquired, are you satisfied by identifying with the body or the mind as objects of self-realization?
So Narada Uvacha, Narad Muni is speaking, Parasharya Mahabhaga. Oh Vyasdev, you have such Mahabhagya, so much good fortune. You are the son of Parashar Muni, right? That is why Parasharya. How are you doing? Bhavata Kachidatmana. How are you? How is your self-realization going? Paritushyati. Are you tushya? Are you santushta? Are you satisfied? Sharira, Atma, Manasa. Is your sharir, your body, your Atma, your man, is everything okay? Are you happy? Are you all right? So Guru has come and Guru is checking on his student. He can see visibly that his student is very, very disturbed. He also knows that he's been sent there because the student is disturbed. Right? But he's just checking on his student here. Verse number 3. Jigyasitam susumpannam
Jigyasitam susumpannam
api te mahadadbhutam
mahadadbhutam
kritavan bharatam yastvam sarvartha paribrahmitam.
Your enquiries were full and your studies were also well fulfilled. And there is no doubt that you have prepared a great and wonderful work, the Mahabharata, which is full of all kinds of Vedic sequences elaborately
Tell him
explained.
I'll give it to him in 10 minutes. Sorry. So, your inquiries are full. Yeah. Jidnyasitam. So, you had a lot of jignyasa about the Vedas. Su sampannam. Whatever curiosity you had, you actually studied the Vedas in that depth. You did the best that you could. You perfectly completed the task that was given to you. Not just did you do that, you went 10 steps ahead. You wrote the great, wonderful Mahat Adbhutam, which is Kritavan Bharatam. You compiled the entire Mahabharata and you've expanded it with all the meanings. You've clearly explained Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Right? So it is as if Vyasdev has gone to a modern day counselor. Right? Narad Muni is his counselor. Right? And Narad Muni is saying, okay, let's understand what the current situation looks like. So one, your Mahabhaga, you have great parents, right? Your lineage is so great. Then you yourself, you're a very smart chap. You have great education, great body of work has been compiled by you. So most definitely what you're feeling, right? This sadness, this misery, this incompleteness, this is not because you lack knowledge. Because as a student, you've done a fantastic job. You studied the Vedas, you've compiled the Mahabharata, right? It is all very, very well written. You understand the 4 Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So Narad basically tells him ki, you know Vyasdev, I'm looking at you. I think you've done everything perfectly. You've covered everything. So on the face of it, ab tak to mujhe koi problem nahi dikh raha hai. So let's dig deeper. Okay? Next verse. Verse number 4. Jidnyasitam adhitam cha
Jigyasitam adhitam cha
Brahma yattat sanatanam
Sanantanam
Tathapi shocha yasyatmanam
Tatmanam
Akritartha iva prabho.
Kritartha iva prabhu.
You have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman as well as the knowledge derived therefrom. Why should you be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu?
So Naraji is such a great counselor. Here he is appreciating Vyasdev even more. He's telling him, I too think you're super smart. I think you've done such a great job. Right? Because even modern counseling tells us that we need to get the person to start figuring out his own problem. right? So he wants Vyasadeva to figure out on his own what is wrong by doing a whole lot of introspection, right? We should also do this because we're coming to the end. I'm just going to end with a little bit of Gyan. We'll take verses 5 onwards next week. So just like Narad Muni is encouraging Vyasadeva to introspect more and more, we should also do this. When we feel disappointed, we should definitely follow this process of sitting down and doing self-introspection. We all make mistakes, right? First step, we should acknowledge the fact that we made a mistake, right? Acknowledge that we made a mistake. We need to admit to ourselves, right? Normally, what comes in the way? Ego, right? Normally, we never ever admit our mistake only because of our ego. But once we let go, we take that ego, put it aside, ki bhai tu idhar shant 2 minute baith ja. Let me figure out what is wrong. What have I done wrong, right? Then we're very easily able to see the mirror. So we should admit, once we admit our mistake, we should repent, right? No point in just saying, अच्छा यार ठीक है मुझसे गलती हो गई. गलती हो गई तो माफी मांगो और वो गलती को सुधारो. And for that, all that we need to do is introspection. मैं मेरी गलती कैसे सुधारूं? Introspect. That Antaryami Lord, He will come to show us what we did wrong, why we did wrong, and how we can correct our mistake. What is the penance that I need to undertake? And once that is done, that Antaryami Lord will completely forgive us. Right? He will say, okay, now that this is done, let's forget about it, move on. He helps you move on with a better version of yourself. For that, we have to have complete faith in the Lord. I heard something very beautiful by Nitai Sevani Mataji. She says 3 things that we should always keep in mind. Write this down. It's so simple but so profound. 1, Krishna loves me unconditionally. Krishna loves me unconditionally. 2, He is the most powerful. He is the person who can make anything happen. Right? And 3, He is fully focused on helping me. He is fully focused. He's committed. I have my own Krishna. Each of us have our own Krishna. Right? Paramatma is only and only for me. My Paramatma is not worrying about how to help Smriti. My Paramatma is only thinking about how can I help Varsha. Right? So think about this. In our life, okay, 1, we have many people who love us. But they love many people. They don't love us exclusively. Right? Here I have somebody who loves me exclusively. 2, He's all powerful. I know some powerful people. ओ मैं इधर के एमएलए को जानती हूँ, ओ मैं अमित शाह को जानती हूँ, ओ मैं किसी और को जानती हूँ. Okay, I might know powerful people. But third is very important. Are they committed to helping me? Right? However powerful a person is he committed to helping me and me alone? No. There's only one person like that in our lives. And each of us has this. Write this down. Convince yourself of the truth of this. And then see how powerful you feel in life. And then you will be able to take the next big step in your life. Most of the time, when we are disappointed, right, we don't have what it takes to surrender to the Lord because we don't have that faith. Right? Knowing this gives us ultimate faith. Why is Vyasadeva able to surrender to Narad Muni? Because he has faith. मैं नारद मुनि को कुछ भी बोल दूं, Narad Muni is very powerful, Narad Muni loves me, and Narad Muni is going to do whatever he can to resolve my issue. Right? So these are very, very important. People keep telling us to, आजकल क्या बोलते हैं यार, you have to keep repeating things to yourself, right? What is that called?
Manifestations.
Yeah, but to manifest, what do you have to do? You have to keep repeating your affirmations. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Affirmations. So please write this down as your everyday affirmation. He loves me.
Can you repeat them? You said one is Krishna loves me unconditionally, then he is fully focused on helping me. And
So
the third
second one is no. So first is Krishna loves me unconditionally, and that Krishna who loves me unconditionally, he is super powerful. He can make anything happen. And third, he truly will make anything that is required to solve my issues, because he's completely focused on making my life better. He's completely focused on helping me. Right? Please make these your affirmations, and you don't need any other affirmations in your life. Praying that we always recognize Krishna in our life, whether they come in the form of Chintamani or a Grahastha couple or a small boy. Praying that we always recognize, and we're always waiting, we're always receptive to every instruction that he sends our way. Danvat Pranam, Vangmay Mukut Shiromani Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you all for joining. Hari Krishna. Do we have any